Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public video discussion for Friday, January 27th, 2023. Looking at past weather patterns during this time period, we've had multiple winter storms, but that does not look like it's going to be the case, at least for this weekend, with tranquil weather conditions overall. And we are watching a cold front that's going to be moving through, but in this video, we're also going to take a look at the potential for some more active weather next week and kind of show you what the 500 millibar pattern looks like. Yesterday, it looked like a little bit snowier, a little bit colder, but today's guidance is a little bit drier. So I'm going to show you why that's the case. So first of all, in our current observations, we have a few troughs hanging around the region with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s in your suburbs, mid to upper 30s in your urban areas, and down along the immediate coast, with winds from the west-southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. When we take a look at our latest radar and surface map from WeatherTap, overall we are looking at pretty quiet conditions. We have a few weak snow showers passing through the region. That's associated with our trough that is moving through and this stationary front hanging around the region. Not really going to produce much in the way of any type of precipitation, but you might see a passing flurry here and there within this scattered cloud cover. But again, nothing really too significant. And this cold front and low pressure system, by the time it reaches us on Sunday, will be producing a few scattered showers. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for the Eagles game as they get ready to play for the NFC Championship and possibly a game in the Super Bowl. When we take a look at our upper level winds here, obviously it's nothing like the mild pattern we had beforehand, where we have now a pretty deep trough over much of the eastern two-thirds of the United States. We have our subtropical jet stream. We have our ridge along the west coast. But remember, a key rule that I taught you guys, and we've been talking about this in the live chats, when you're looking for a major winter storm, what you typically want to see is this ridge axis right here, right around here, right around Montana and Idaho, right around there. And the reason why is because of the wavelengths in the pattern and the orientation of your troughs. In this scenario where you have a very broad trough, it's very difficult to get a major storm because your low pressure systems within it typically are suppressed in this scenario. Your subtropical jet stream, although it's interacting with the polar jet stream, does so a little bit too late. So all your major storms are out here, and your broad pattern, although it supports cold air, doesn't support the most in terms of precipitation. What you want with a tighter trough is that you get your trough axis right about here, your ridge axis here, your trough axis here, and that supports a negative tilt here, which sets up your major winter storms. Combine that with in the Atlantic right now, this is pretty much a positive NAO signature here. And what you mean by that is that your storms are able to just track right out in the Atlantic. There's nothing blocking them. There's no traffic cops, so to speak, slowing down any type of low pressure system over the coastal plain. So just kind of want to show you where we're at right now in our pattern. Yes, much colder, definitely, but this again is a thread the needle type situation here where the short waves have to interact just right to produce any type of winter storm over the region. So when we take a look at our latest water vapor satellite picture, there is our next short wave right here. Let's circle that right here. This short wave right here is going to be tracking towards the northern mid-Atlantic. And as it does so, it's going to open up the potential for a few showers by the time we get to this Sunday. Not expecting much in the way of any type of heavy precipitation out of this, but certainly something to just keep an eye on as it swings through. Our next pattern evolution starting to move into the west coast with the potential for some light to moderate snowfall by the middle of next week. That's where we start to take a look at our model guidance. Now, this is the 500 millibar pattern, right? And notice we have all these little short waves marching their way through. The polar jet stream sinking south under the influence of our polar vortex is pressing that cold air south, right? You can see right here a nice leading edge to the Arctic air. So you have your very mild air down here, your Arctic air up here, and we are caught in between with a modified Pacific air mass. And so with that modified Pacific air mass, it starts to get suppressed to the south. And this is associated with our cold front on Sunday into Monday. And that is associated with that strong shortwave that swings on through. Now we have another shortwave in the subtropical jet stream that's down here. That marches through, but it's suppressed. It doesn't interact with the polar jet stream all that much. So it passes to the south, and what you end up with is just a few passing showers around here, rain, snow showers, but nothing too significant, and your cold air slowly presses south. That sets us up on Tuesday. Tuesday, we have our Arctic air to the north. We're talking about where it's 5 degrees up here for a low, but 39 degrees down here in Cape May. Okay? So you have a very impressive thermal gradient setting up at all levels of the atmosphere, from the surface to the mid-levels. So you have a vertical and horizontal thermal gradient setting up in the atmosphere. So clearly we are on the leading edge between the deep Arctic air and a very warm tropical-like air mass down the Gulf Coast. So on Wednesday, there is some hints of possibly some light snow for even the coastal plain. However, in the latest guidance, that shortwave that marches through kind of gets sheared apart because the interaction between the two jet streams are off just a little bit on this model guidance. So you have the cold air, you have some limited moisture, but the shortwaves, the way they're interacting, really aren't all that impressive. So I'm keeping the threat for snow showers in the forecast, but it doesn't look anything as robust as what we saw yesterday. Can that change? Absolutely. But it all comes down to the interaction of the shortwaves. Then we have our next storm, which is a little bit more stronger, a little bit more organized here in the southwest. So this is what you call a split pattern, okay, within La Nina. You have your polar jet stream here providing the cold air, and as you can see, plenty of cold air to work with. And you have your disturbance in the subtropical jet stream providing the moisture. So that marches through, and it remains in a positive tilt right here up through Friday, which gets us to close to the Mississippi River Valley, which is a good sign if you're looking for snowfall on the coastal plain. Why? Because the previous storm that cut up towards the Great Lakes, it had already gone negative, which starts to interact with this shortwave early, which led to snow changing over to rain, right? In this scenario, because again, we don't have your traditional negative NAO block, what you need is a perfect interaction between these shortwaves under this feature right here, this strong upper level low. So it swings through, and right about here, and let me circle this real fast. Here is your subtropical shortwave right here. And here's your polar shortwave right here. Now, in yesterday's example, these two interacted a little bit sooner. And so as a result, you started off with a closed low heading up towards the Delmarva Peninsula, and you had a robust storm with some significant snowfall. In this scenario, these two features are delayed by just a few hours. And the difference between that means that this shortwave is much weaker and is able to head out into the Atlantic without any type of feature slowing it down, because this doesn't kind of latch onto the back of it. Okay, and what you need is to close the difference between this area right here. Okay, so when you close this area right here, that is when you have the better potential for a major storm. But right now, you end up with a suppressed pattern because this is able to exit out, and then this catches up after that, which is what we see going forward after that in guidance here. See, right out in the Atlantic, and then our polar shortwave comes in right behind it. So it's a matter of timing, which is why I said yesterday to a lot of the premium members, and why I was saying to you in the public video, yeah, it looks impressive, but this is a perfect setup, perfect scenario, perfect interaction, which we discussed on Wednesday. If you don't have that perfect interaction, well, then you end up with a much quieter forecast. So let's walk through this forecast for today. Scattered cloud cover is expected. Few snow flurries are possible, Look for high temperatures in the lower to mid 30s over the interior, upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. For tonight into tomorrow morning, scattered cloud cover is expected with low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 20s over the interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast. For tomorrow, scattered cloud cover. Again, can't rule out a flurry, but that's pretty much about it. Look for high temperatures to range from the upper 30s to lower 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast. On Sunday, our cold front will be moving through. Out ahead of the cold front, look for low temperatures to range from the lower to mid 30s. High temperatures will range from the upper 30s to mid 40s over the interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast, with the threat for scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. If you're heading out to the Eagles game, yes, you'll have to watch out for some showers. But if you're worried about the actual game, really not a significant impact. You got a few passing showers, maybe a tenth of an inch of rain. Not a huge deal. So no matter what happens on Sunday, you can't blame the weather. I'll put it that way. On Monday, our front is slowly sinking to the region. There is our shortwave in the subtropical jet stream passing well to the south as our cold front is moving through. Look for scattered rain and snow showers with low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 30s. High temperatures will range from the upper 30s to lower 40s over the northern interior, lower to mid 40s along the coast. On Tuesday, high pressure slowly builds in from the Great Lakes. We have a few pesky snow showers passing around the region. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 30s over the interior, upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. On Wednesday, there's our first wave of low pressure passing to the south. Again, nowhere near as robust or as impressive as what we saw yesterday. I'm keeping snow showers in the forecast because the difference between us seeing a light to moderate snowfall or nothing at all is pretty much a difference of about 3 to 4 hours in timing of these short waves, okay? So that will make all the difference. So instead of jumping no snow, snow, no snow, snow, let's just go scattered snow showers and we'll reevaluate as we get closer. Look for low temperatures, still rather chilly as the Arctic air settles into the region, ranging from the upper teens to lower 20s over the northern interior, mid to upper 20s along the coast. High temperatures in the mid to upper 20s over the interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. On Thursday, scattered cloud cover is expected. We'll watch another wave of low pressure passing to our south. Again, there's a chance of seeing some light snow down towards southern New Jersey. This one looks a little bit more suppressed, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. This is ahead of the major short wave, which is still back here. So again, very active pattern. A lot of moving features here. Look for low temperatures ranging from the single digits to mid-teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. High temperatures in the mid-20s over the interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. On Friday, we'll watch our storm, see how it evolves. Right now, as you can see, well suppressed to the south. The key point here, just to understand this, you have the high pressure to the north, you have the cold air sustained, you have your low pressure system. Again, the interaction between these two features will be the difference in the forecast. This feature, basically a miss. You have the interaction, you end up with a major storm. So right now, again, for Friday, let's go with scattered snow showers, see how this evolves, and then as we get more data, we reevaluate and move from there. But just understand, next week we have 2 to 3 potential periods of wintry precipitation for the region that could actually produce accumulating snow or nothing at all. Temperatures on Friday will range from the lower to mid-teens over the interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. High temperatures with that Arctic air settled in, ranging from the lower to mid-20s over the northern interior and mid-20s to lower 30s along the coast. That is your video discussion for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and as always, stay safe out there.